In the spirit of providing you more content, I'm gonna sit here and do my makeup, and while I do that, I'll tell y'all my business, spill the juicy details on how I found another woman in my bed. Yes, girl, in my bed. I'm just a type of person that requires backstories and details to really understand a situation, and I'm gonna give you that. So let's give you some backstory. Won't be calling any names, or at least the characters' actual names in the story time, just to protect everybody's privacy. I don't have no beef or drama with anybody from my past, and I don't want to start one now. So for the purpose of this story, I'm gonna call my ex Bella, and my best friend at the time who was very much involved in this story time. Let's call her Tammy. So after leaving high school, I went on to continue my studies at a very well-known community college in Kingston, Jamaica, and that's where I happened to meet my ex. Now, when I saw her, initially I thought she was very pretty. I thought she was dominant. And if you know me, that's the type of woman I go for. I like masculine presenting women, and I also like a woman that has the ability to lead. I'll tell you the tea about this. I have to give you some honesty and just some disclaimer. When I met Bella, she had a girlfriend. The girlfriend used to actually come and visit her at school, and we didn't get together until she and that girlfriend broke up, which is very interesting because I chased her for months. It wasn't until I was being sought after by two other persons that Bella actually started to give me the time of day, which is just so telling. I remember the day that she actually asked me to be her girlfriend, and that is something that I needed at the time. I needed clarification that she wanted me to be her girlfriend, because she was known to be very, I don't want to say promiscuous, but in a long story short, that is exactly what it is. She loved the attention of the ladies, and for some reason she thought that this made her a gallus, and girls used to fall for it, as did I. Something about wanting to lock down someone that feels like they cannot be tamed, and for some reason I felt like my innocence and my not knowing anything, and I thought that that would appeal to her and make her want to be nice to me, because I thought that I'm a nice girl, she wouldn't want to fuck me over, you know what I mean? Let's clean up the language. She did nothing but screw me over. I mean, I was constantly being cheated on in college, constantly crying to my friends. My friends were constantly telling me to leave her. Like, why are you forcing this relationship? Why do you want this? But for some reason, I thought that I could change her, because I was going to, in my silly little mind at the time, I came from a family where my mom taught me certain values, and values that she told me that she was interested in, like a woman that could cook and take care of the household, a woman is family oriented, a woman that wanted to be a wife and not a girlfriend. These are all the things that she had told me in previous conversations that she appreciated and liked about me. And I was like, bet, if I can get her to see that ain't shit out here in these other trash girls, fast girls, promiscuous girls, she would see how well raised I was and want to make me the wifey. Fast forward to, I want to say, 2 years later, I ended up deciding that I needed to move out of my mom's house because we were really having major difficulties, and I really just didn't feel like I was happy there, so I needed my own space. I got a job, and I was able to not only pay rent but to pay bills. So I told her at the time that I was gonna move out. I told her not to feel pressured and feel like she has to come and live with me, but I'm moving, I'm getting out of here. After all the planning and moving and having money, it just turned out that she also decided that she was gonna move in with me, and this place is not just gonna be my place, it was gonna be our place. However, infidelity always seemed to rear its ugly little head. She just couldn't keep it in the pants. I would have issues with her constantly texting and going out and sleeping with other women. I don't know what it was or what type of hold she had over me, but the fact that I was now living with her, we were now paying bills together, like I was looking at how long we were together, that I didn't necessarily have any major connections to my family anymore. I moved out of my mom's house. In my mind, we are going to get over it. This is just a phase, it's going to pass. Everything is going to be okay. This is a story that I've told myself over and over for me to be comfortable in this relationship. And of course, she's reassuring me every time that I would caught her cheating. Every time she'd reassure me, this is the last time, it'll never happen again. You know, I remember there was this one time that I actually found her on a date with a girl. I went out for a girls' night out. Oh my God, honestly, don't judge me. Do not judge me, you guys. I went out for a girls' night with my girlfriends at the time, and I was driving through New Kingston and I saw somebody walking down the road, and I'm like, I know those legs, I know that walk, I know that just how the person, because I was seeing the person, I was seeing her from behind. I was like, that's Bella. That has to be Bella. So as the taxi is passing me, I broke off my neck. I try to get a glimpse of this person, and of course it was Bella. I literally hopped out of the cab and was literally bolting up the street because I had to confront her. Because before, it's always been via text, or I've had feelings of her being unfaithful, or I'd find proof in like text messages, but it wasn't anything that I could say that I know for a fact. I really hopped out the cab, bolting down the street, and there was Tammy behind me. That's one thing though, you know. As much as me and Tammy aren't friends right now, I gotta say, she was really down for your girl back then. I believe it was a Domino, no, it was a Pizza Hut on that street in New Kingston, and I went to the Pizza Hut and I said to her, like, this is what you're really doing to me, like, you're out, like, I wanted her to see me see her type of situation. Left the restaurant. I was in the club crying, bitch. I was in the club, bawling in the club. They know the question you're asking is, did you leave her after that point? Of course I didn't. I was in love. I know that she loves me. I know this. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows that at the end of the day, she's never going to actually leave me. No, because I'm wifey. I'm the wife around here. No ring on my finger, but I'm the wife around here. And not only were we living together, we actually moved out of that small quad, which is like a studio apartment in Portmore, and we decided to get a 2-bedroom because at this point, we wanted to be able to host friends, and you know, we were together for maybe 4 years at this point in time. We're already in it, you know. We wanted to start growing and branching off a little bit more, and we wanted a bigger place. We got our little, buying more furniture and appliances. We got a little washing machine to put in our washroom, and we had so fun dining set, like we were entertaining friends, like we were really getting into it. And for maybe a good 2 years, maybe for a good year and a half, we were actually good. Nothing crazy was going on. Nothing crazy was going on that I knew, that I picked up on. I remember one day going through her phone though, because of course I'm going to be going through phones. Of course, that's the type of toxicity that was going on in that relationship, and I have to make that clear that there are some things that I really have to be honest about. There are some things that I definitely provoked because I was hurt at the time, because I was literally just so unhappy that I would instigate arguments just to get her attention. I would be calling girls' phone, getting her women's number out of her phone and calling other girls' phone, telling them to leave her alone. She don't want them. Oh my God, so embarrassing. So embarrassing, girl. Something told me to. Something, I don't know what was happening. I really don't know what happened, but I got a gut feeling. I got a feeling to go through her phone, and so I did. I remember seeing her cousin in a recent conversation in her text messages, and I'm like, when? I haven't heard you talk about this cousin for so long, and I've gone through the phone several times that week, and I kept seeing the cousin's name as the first text, as the first chat at the top of the text. Not even my name, and we were texting. I was maybe like second or third, but every time I would go into the phone to search to see, get any updates to see if anything is changing, because I had that gut wrench feeling. I had that feeling, girl. Did what I didn't do previously in searching the phone. I actually opened the chat. When I opened the chat and I started to read what was in the chat, it wasn't her cousin, bitch. She saved the girl's name as her cousin's name. Saved even her cousin, pitch her in as the chat, as the contact photo. Like, she really did put in effort and work into this. I actually started scrolling and reading the text messages. They not only went months back, they went an entire year plus back. The entire year that I thought that we were having such a good time. The entire year that I thought that we were going to, we could really make it. Like, making plans of buying a house and having children and all these things. Like, all the time that we were talking and making plans and making love and all this, she was in a full-blown relationship with this girl. Telling my friends how much she's changed, telling my friends how much, Bella really step up, Bella really, make me happy. I'm so happy. I'm telling everybody, singing her motherfucking praises. I mean, I'm going through all the times we've laid in bed and talked and made love and the dates, and I'm looking back on dates of when she came home and was so happy with me one day, and we celebrated our anniversary, or we had friends over and our friends were telling us, how great we are together. And I'm looking back at remembering these times and these situations as to when we were so seemingly happy, but matching up those dates to her telling the other girl, oh, I love you and I can't wait to see you, and you are the one and I miss you so much, and girl sending her money, and like it was I don't think up until that point of everything that I went through with Bella that I felt more betrayed. I was asking this friend if she thinks I'm an idiot for staying into the relationship, and if she thinks I should leave the relationship. And her friend said to me, every time she's done something, you've taken her back. Why do you think she would ever want to change? Why do you think she would ever have the desire to change? You're not going anywhere, are you? So of course she said her sorries, and how much she loves me and how things are going to change, and I just need to work with her. We just need to work through this. And just like our mutual friend said, I was gonna take her back. So she said, so I did. I took her back. I remember one day she came to me, and she came to me in tears, girl. She came to me in tears, crying, how she found herself in financial problems and issue where she owe people money. And I'm like, shit, because in my mind I'm like, if you owe people money, we owe people money. She said to me that the friend needed the money. The friend that she borrowed the money from wants to use that money to book her accommodations in Jamaica for her vacation. How ironic that the exact amount that she owed the friend was the exact amount that we paid for rent. Yeah, because after we've been sitting down for literally hours thinking about how are we going to find this. At the time I believe it was $25,000. How are we going to find $25,000? My God, so manipulative. She was even leading me to hint at it too, and I was saying, well, maybe if she's just looking for somewhere to stay, we can give her the apartment, right? I'll go stay at my mom's house, she'll go stay at her mom's house, and the girl will be there for a month, spend her vacation, have her own time there, have her time there, and everything is going to be perfectly fine. You won't owe anybody any money. The girl will have somewhere to stay. Squits. Call it even. Perfect. It's the perfect idea. This, we don't want any embarrassment. People say that we owe them money and can't pay back any money. So, and to be honest, I didn't even question where she had, when she borrowed the money. To be honest, I never even questioned what she had done with the money that she borrowed. $25,000 you borrowed and didn't tell me, and I didn't stop and ask you, when did you borrow this money? Why did you borrow this money? What did you use this money for? Tell me that means that I really am it. Real idiots. It came for us to leave. The girl was gonna come that evening. I packed us up. I packed up all her clothes, from her work clothes to her house clothes, or the deodorant, all her personal toiletries. I packed her up, girl. And I packed up myself as well. We left the apartment with 2 massive suitcases, backpack on her back, purse in my hand. We are going to our parents. I'm gonna go stay by my mom's. She's gonna stay by her mom. The girl will use our apartment in exchange for money owed. I remember one day, Tammy called me and she was like, girl, where are you? And I'm like, I'm at home at my mom's house, I told you. She's like, I just saw Bella on the mall. And I'm like, which mall? She's like, in Portmore. Saw her on the mall with this girl. Remember, Tammy was there with me the day that I confronted Bella when she was on a date in New Kingston. So Tammy remembered how the girl looked. Tammy said she looks like the girl we saw her with in New Kingston. Instantly, my stomach dropped. I had to take a shit instantly. I literally got up out of bed and had to go use the bathroom. My nervous system started to break down. I started to shake, cold sweat. I remember this feeling so nauseous. I was on the toilet wanting to throw up. Tammy went on to describe the girl, and as Tammy was describing the girl, I'm getting more and more sick to my stomach, just more and more repulsed by the words that I'm hearing. No man, there has to be an explanation. There has to be something more to the situation, because she would never be doing what I think she did. You know, she said to me, girl, body language don't lie. I saw them walking together. I saw them talking. I saw them smiling. I saw how they were interacting with each other. It was not platonic. Called her that same night. Asked her where she was. She was at her mom's house. She's about to go to bed because she has work early in the morning. And she'll call me in the morning and we can talk more. I was like, bet. She was very quick off the phone too. She didn't want to have a conversation like we normally did. Got up the next morning, left my mom's house, got into Kingston. Got to the Portmore bus stop and realized that there was no 20 route bus there, and we lived on a 20 route bus line. Decided to take the 17 bus and come off at the mall and take a taxi from the mall to the house. Got outside and I called her phone. And what I knew was going to happen, even though I was hoping it wouldn't have happened, was her phone started to ring in the house. So she was at home. She picks up the phone and I could tell that she was whispering, in a sense, as if she was leaving a room and walking towards the front of the house. Because at this point, I could now not only hear her on the phone, but I could hear her voice. So she's walking towards me. The bedrooms are in the back. She's walking towards the front of the apartment. I'm outside and we have really big windows in the living room. So the windows are open. So if you're talking, you can hear, I could hear from downstairs. She's like, hey babes, kind of whispering still, but she's talking. She's like, hey babes, what's up? Are you on your way to work? And I said, no, I'm downstairs. Coming down to meet me at the steps. Baby, please, Please don't do this. I can explain. I can explain. Explain what? What do you need to explain? Honestly, the only thing that I wanted to see, because we're not stupid. We all know what's going on here, right? We are big people. The only thing that I wanted to see is if when I go into the room, I'm going to see her. The clothes, the shoes, the toiletries, the underwear, all the things that I packed up, spent days packing for us. I walked into my bedroom and saw this big old tall, trapped in man-looking woman in my bed, which is a conversation for another time. Sound asleep, and I opened the closet and there they were. Every article of clothing that I packed up hanging in the closet, every pair of shoes that I packed up sitting neatly in the closet. When I opened her drawer, all her toiletries, all her clothes, when I opened mine, were filled with her woman's clothes. Girl, tell me if it's not a lifetime movie. Yeah, watch. Hurry. I have to hurry up because my boss just came into work today. Out of all the days that he decided to come on a day that I want to record. God. You guys, one of the managers here just came and sat at his desk like he's not leaving. Yes, not only did I find a woman in my bed, took her back, then we moved from that apartment, got a different apartment, left from work one day early, got home and saw her with another woman, a different woman in the house. It was clear that she didn't want to be with me. It was clear that the only reason why we were together is because she didn't want me with anybody else. That is it. That is all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so you do not miss whenever I post another video. And until next time.